We are on Yerushalmi Peah Daf Mem Aleph in the Ozadar print, and today's theme is one that we've talked about many times, which is the generosity of spirit that this Mishnah, that the entire idea of Peah and Leket and Shikha is supposed to engender. And this is just very, very beautiful drushes that we can learn so much from. Not halacha l'maisa, but just the practical hashkafic part. Obviously, a person should ask a shaila. So the Gemara says that if somebody is not sure about whether things are leket, whether they belong to the poor person or not, whatever the circumstances are, Rabbi Meir Omer Hakola Anim Shesafik Leket Leket. And Rabbi Meir says it's din that something that you're not sure about what it is, it goes to leket. Now we have a similar idea by tzedakah that if somebody confuses tzedakah money, there are ways to deal with that. I'm not going to go into the exact halachic parts, but we know that there's a famous Gemara that says, "How do I know that I'm ben olam haba?" Because one time I switched out the Molas Purim, which was meant for the aniyim, and I just gave everything tzedakah. And Rav Chaim Kanievsky Zatzal was very, very makbid on this, that it's brought down in many, many svarim about him, that if there's ever a suffix about money whatsoever, he would just give it to tzedakah automatically. And it's a phenomenal thing to think about this, but it's erring on the side of caution in a good way. And that is really the theme for today that I wanted to stress. There's a story in the Art Scroll book, biography of Rav Chaim, that Rav Chaim wanted to help contribute to the family's household expenses, so he bought a couple of boxes of tissues, and he put it in the Stipler's house, his father's house, and he came back a few weeks later, and it was still exactly where he left it, and his sister said, Abba didn't know where that came from, so he said we should just leave it, and whoever's it is, we should make sure to return it. There's a famous story about somebody that forgot something at Rav Chaim's house, and Rav Chaim held on to it for a long time. So there's many, many ideas about being makbid with money and being an honest person, and that's very, very important. So the Gemara brings down many, many sources, and I'm not going to go into it because you'll see it in the plot itself, but the Gemara actually tries to struggle with, why do I need so many sources? But just listen, each one has a different mile over the other in what it says. For example, Rav Shimon bar Nachman, the Shem of Yonasan, he says, Ani v'rush hitzdiku b'mat nosav. Favor the poor person when you give him his gifts. And Rishon ben Lakish, Rishon bar Kafra says, Losata mishpat of Yom Rivo, you're not allowed to tilt the judgment for a destitute poor person. But Rivo enat Mateo, you can't do it when it comes to the din. Alva Mateo at Matanosa, but when it comes to the gifts, you should be extra generous. And again, there's all these drushes that are very, very like Garely Yasam Lamana Yia, Beimi Dam Beimi De Havlach says Rabbi Law, that's an interesting name also. Rabbi Law says, whether it's yours or his, just give it to him. And again, this is the idea of generosity of spirit. The Rebbeinu Shalom takes care of those that take care of his children, and that is the yesod that we're supposed to learn. And you see literally these drushes that are telling us to, even if you're not sure, just err on the side of caution and give it to the poor person. And that's the attitude that's trying to be developed inside us.